Hi, welcome to art class. Today we are finally going to be planting your plants in your pinch pots. I can't wait to tell you all about it.
But first, a quick plant joke for ya.
What did the cactus say to the other cactus? You're looking sharp.
That was a good one. Even though cactuses are really cool, we're actually going to be using succulents, which are very similar to cactuses. Or cacti. Or, cacti. I think it's cacti. Succulents are a lot like cacti or cactuses. They store water inside of them for times when the ground is really dry. If they don't get a lot of rain, they can use the water inside their leaves to feed themselves.
We're going to be using succulents to do what's called propagating, which is where we remove a leaf from one plant and we use that leaf to make a whole new plant. We're going to watch that leaf grow into a little baby plant, and over time it will grow into a nice big succulent.
These plants are all succulents. They look so different from each other. These were donated by Bowman Woods families for us to use. Thank you. The first step is to cut off some sections of plants or remove some leaves to make a new plant. They need to dry out for a couple of days before putting them in the soil. Once they've dried out, we can put them in the soil and they will start to grow new roots and new plant leaves.
These trimmings and leaves have been in this bin of soil for several days. They have had water added to them so they can get moisture from the soil. The leaves and trimmings will start to send out new roots to grow a new plant. They need their roots to drink the water to keep them alive. These are some other succulents that I've had in this planter for about 6 months. These plants started off about this big when I put them in there, and over the summer they have grown quite a bit. These parts up here are new growths on this plant. These have spread out quite a bit, and I've even had some leaves fall off. And when I take a leaf off, I will carefully grab the leaf and just kind of wiggle it back and forth, and it will come off like that. If I can get the whole leaf to come off nicely like this, then I can set this in the dirt. And over the next few weeks, it will start to grow new roots. This one fell off on its own, and I kind of scooted it over here. Okay, let's look closely at this one. This one has started to grow new roots. It's got these pink little roots coming out of the end of it over there. And on this side, we can see that it actually has started to grow a new teeny tiny little plant out of there. There's new leaves coming out. It's just a baby. It's like a newborn baby. I need to be very gentle with it, and it needs to be taken care of. It needs a little bit more water probably than what this pot is getting to keep growing really well. Now, the reason that we did not use glaze on our pots is because plants have a lot of needs. They need good quality nutrients that are found in the soil. And succulents need a certain type of nutrients, and that's why we have a special mixture of soil for you to use in your plant. They also need water, but these plants need less water than most plants. So this pot helps absorb the water because it does not have glaze on it. So it is not waterproof. This is also made of clay, kind of like your pots that you made, and those pots will help absorb the water if we accidentally get too much water in there. Now this one also has a hole in the bottom in a little tray where the water can drain out. Maybe you've noticed that other plants that you've seen potted in some planters do have that. They have a little tray on the bottom where the water can drain out. They also need air. They need air circulation, like wind. If we have a nice day, I'll open the windows so that your plant can get some fresh air from outside. And even their roots need air. They're hidden under the dirt, but if the plant gets too much water, then the plant cannot breathe and it will kind of get wilted because it's kind of like drowning in too much water. It needs warmth, so it needs a good temperature. We're gonna try to keep these plants nice and warm so that they can grow really well, just like our summer temperatures. And they need space to grow. Eventually, your plant might start to grow. I'm gonna turn this around so you can see this one on the other side. Now these plants over here are really tiny. This one came off of a leaf too, and so did this one. It came off of a leaf and it's getting pretty big. Now under the dirt, its roots might be getting too big and it might need more soil. Now this planter is pretty big, but your pinch pots might only be the home for your plant for about a year, and then they might need to be replanted into a larger pot so that they can keep growing because their roots might be getting too big underneath the soil in there.
While you're working at your table today, I will call you to come over to the back table when I'm ready for you. We'll come over and look for your pot in your class bin. Once you find your pot, here's mine, you're going to come over and put some dirt in your pot. You can hold it over the bin and scoop some dirt into it. I'm going to set mine down right now because I'm kind of holding onto this phone to take a video. Put a little bit of dirt in there. We want to save space near the top for any water so that it doesn't drip over. Let me show you what it would be if it was too full. Okay, that's too full. See how it's sticking up over the top? I need to kind of dump some of that out. This is still too full because it's right up to the edge of the pot. I still need to dump a little bit more out. I need some space between the top of the dirt and the edge of the pot. I want the pot to be up a little bit higher than the dirt. Then I'm going to come over and I'm going to look for a leaf or a plant that will fit in my pot. So let's see. I think that one of these will fit in there. Let's just double check. Oh, it's a little bit big. It's maybe okay. Now remember that the plant is going to come out on this end of the leaf. So if I put that right there, the center of the plant will be off to the side of the pot. So I'm going to take that one out. That one's a little big. Let's see. Maybe I'll try this one. I'm going to put that in there. And I want the leaf to be right side up, so I'm going to turn that over. And I'll just put that right there.
Now that I have my leaf picked out and my soil in my pot, I need to add some water to it so that my leaf can start shooting out roots and start growing. So I'm going to grab one of these little droppers because I don't want to get too much water in there. I'm going to grab some water. I'm just going to squeeze it. And then I'm going to drip some water around my leaf. Okay, and that will start to soak into the soil. I might need to do it 2 times. My pot's kind of big, so I might need to even do it 3 times to get the soil moist so that it can help my leaf to grow. There we go. Then I can put the dropper back and I can take my pot carefully over and put it back in the class bin. And it will stay there. And when I come back to art class, We will take turns watering them and taking care of them and checking on them. It will probably take about 4 months for my little tiny leaf to grow a new plant. So it's going to be very slow. And when it grows, it might be really tiny like this one, or like this one over here, or like this one. So we'll see what happens with it. Hopefully it will work. If my plant does not grow any roots in the first couple of weeks, then we'll switch it out for a different one that is starting to get roots on it.